The rise and fall of Hollywood. Hollywood's story is one of unparalleled success and inevitable decline, a journey filled with glitz, glamour, and controversy. Hollywood, which was once the core of the world's entertainment business, became well known for producing breakthrough movies, iconic studios, and renowned actors that influenced pop culture for many years. However, Hollywood's hegemony has been called into question as the entertainment industry continues to change due to the emergence of digital platforms, streaming services, and changing audience preferences. Discussions over the industry's future and applicability in a world that is changing quickly have been triggered by its decline. Hollywood's story reflects the shifting cultural and media landscapes from the heyday of film to the technological revolution. What therefore caused Hollywood to struggle to stay relevant in the current day after being a dream factory. Its intriguing ascent and subsequent decline hold the key to the solution. 1. Hollywood's inception and formative years. The history of Hollywood started in the early 1900s, when filmmakers wanted to get away from the constrictive conditions of New York and the East Coast-controlled film business run by Thomas Edison. A number of trailblazing filmmakers, such as Mary Pickford, Charlie Chaplin, and D.W. Griffith, decided to move to Southern California. Filmmaking was made possible by the region's diverse vistas and plentiful sunshine. Hollywood was emerging as the world's center for film production by the 1920s. The establishment of early film firms like Paramount, Universal, and Warner Brothers led to the rise of silent film stars like Rudolph Valentino, Buster Keaton, and Charlie Chaplin. Hollywood's position as the global center of entertainment was cemented by their success. Filmmakers started experimenting with narrative during this time, laying the groundwork for the future Hollywood film business. 2. Hollywood's Golden Age. The Golden Age of Hollywood is frequently defined as the 1930s and 1940s, when the studio system was fully operational and the industry achieved its greatest level of both financial and creative achievement. The impact of TV and shifting preferences. The arrival of the 1950s and 1960s presented Hollywood with its first significant obstacle. As television became more common in American homes, viewers had another option for entertainment, and many people started choosing to stay at home instead of going to the movies. Hollywood studios had to adjust in order to survive as box office sales declined due to the quick rise in popularity of television. In response, the cinema industry produced epic movies like Ben-Hur, 1959, and Cleopatra, 1963, which offered a level of grandeur and spectacle that television could not match by providing them with experiences they couldn't have at home. CinemaScope and 3D technology helped draw moviegoers back into theaters. Hollywood's connection with television, however, continued to be a controversial one in spite of these initiatives. The rich TV industry also attracted a lot of celebrities and directors, further undermining Hollywood's hegemony. A new wave of experimental filmmaking was also affected by the social changes of the 1960s, such as the anti-war movement and the civil rights movement, which encouraged filmmakers to tell more radical and socially sensitive tales. The rise of independent cinema and the changing landscape of Hollywood. By the 1970s, independent studios and filmmakers were starting to challenge Hollywood's hegemony. A new era of filmmaking was brought forward by filmmakers such as George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, and Martin Scorsese. These filmmakers frequently concentrated on darker, more intricate subjects and adopted more experimental and intimate methods. Films such as Star Wars 1977, The Godfather 1972, and Taxi Driver 1976 challenged the conventions of filmmaking and narrative. At the same time, studios started to favor big-budget blockbusters over smaller, character-driven films, which led to Hollywood becoming more and more commercialized. During this time, movies like Jaws 1975 and Star Wars became cultural icons, and the term blockbuster was created. These films' financial success demonstrated that the combination of franchise-driven storytelling and big-budget spectacle could produce enormous profits, revolutionizing Hollywood's business practices. Action, comedy, and franchise films became popular in the 1980s, and the box office was dominated by Tom Cruise, Sylvester Stallone, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hollywood's commercial success appeared unstoppable as the business adjusted to the audience's shifting preferences. The decline, financial difficulties, and the studio system's decline. Hollywood's golden age seemed to be coming to an end by the 1990s. As independent filmmakers and smaller production businesses gained traction, the studio system, which had previously prospered on a contract-based framework, started to lose ground. The burgeoning digital era, multinational markets, and video rentals all posed a growing threat to major Hollywood studios. As the expense of producing movies increased and the likelihood of failure increased, Hollywood's financial problems became more obvious. With the staggering $7.4 billion purchase of Pixar by the Walt Disney Company in 1995, 6 streaming services' effect on Hollywood's future. The emergence of streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu fundamentally altered the nature of the entertainment sector. Hollywood had to adjust once more as the ease of seeing movies at home began to supplant traditional moviegoing. Hollywood witnessed a whole new distribution strategy with digital streaming, which made it possible for films to be directly accessible to audiences worldwide and avoid theaters. Hollywood faced serious difficulties as a result of streaming services, even as they increased the prospects for content production. The old paradigm of making and distributing movies, in which big studios controlled the market, began to fall apart. The box office was no longer the only indicator of success for big-budget movies, as they now had to contend with an expanding selection of original content on streaming services. New voices and viewpoints that Hollywood had previously ignored emerged as a result of streaming platforms. Thanks to websites like Netflix, filmmakers and authors who previously might have had trouble getting their films approved by big studios can now succeed. 7. Hollywood's future, changing with the times. Although Hollywood's future is still up in the air, it is certain that the global center of entertainment will need to keep changing. Hollywood has been compelled to reconsider how movies are produced and viewed as a result of the emergence of streaming services and shifting consumer preferences. Hollywood's ability to adjust to a world where its power is less absolute than it previously was. In conclusion, the evolution of Hollywood from its heyday to the present is evidence of both its tenacity and its challenges in a constantly shifting entertainment environment. The industry's capacity to adapt through the emergence of streaming platforms, digital breakthroughs, and worldwide collaborations shows that Hollywood is far from done, even though the glamour of the past may have diminished. Hollywood's future is uncertain as it negotiates the intricacies of contemporary media consumption and international competition, but its reputation as the cradle of the contemporary entertainment industry will continue to impact performers, filmmakers, and viewers everywhere. The necessity for reinvention is shown by the decline of Hollywood's historical dominance, not the end of its influence. One thing is certain as the entertainment industry develops further. Hollywood's tale is far from done, and its capacity to adjust will determine whether it can regain its position as the primary center of entertainment globally. Let us know in the comments what you think about the rise and fall of Hollywood, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.